So today we are at Les Bistronomes in Canberra, and we are interviewing Clément Chauvin and Abel Barrier, two very French names, and they have started this restaurant a little while ago. So thanks for having our French impressions tonight in your restaurant. And before we go into more things, could you just tell us quickly what is the story behind starting Les Bistronomes, and how did you came to Australia, how did you come to Australia, and that sort of thing. So we know a little bit better about your background.
So basically, on my side, I came in Australia just by traveling. I was traveling around the world pretty much, and we stopped in Australia and stayed there for way longer than I thought. Then I moved to Canberra because my ex-wife, we have children and she's from Canberra, so I came to Canberra really by just like that. And then I started to work at Sage, and I started to meet Abel, who was at Water's Edge. And so he was restaurant manager at Water's Edge. I was the head chef at Sage. And I did 2 years at Sage, and heard about Water's Edge and met Abel and got interested to move to Water's Edge at the same time that Abel got interested to move to Sage. So we basically swapped. We did a purely crossover, and on this crossover we got the chance to work together for a month and a half, something like that, about that. And during that month, obviously, we got along really well, and we started to think like, hang on, there's no real French bistro in Canberra. So we saw the opportunity, and we said, let's keep the idea in mind and see what we do next. And so we started to. I worked for a year and a half at Water's Edge, and after that time, basically, it was the idea of opening our own business was just becoming stronger and stronger. And I contacted Abel and I said, look, seriously, I really think we should do something. So that's when we got kind of together and sat down and started to see what was the possibility. And after quite a lot of hard work and a lot of search and a lot of nightmare and stress, we opened here.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And so tell me, where did you train as a chef?
So I'm Parisian born, moved to Lyon when I was 14, started to train basically at Tonon-les-Bains. I did a hospitality school there at Tonon-les-Bains, so next to Geneva. Then when I finished my study there, I got the chance to work at Pic, which was a 2 Michelin star at that time. Have you? Yeah.
As a kid, actually.
As a kid, yeah. So been there, Pic. Then I moved back to Lyon. So Pic was a kind of a big slap in the face as, okay, well, you're far too young for a 2 Michelin star. You're far too have not any idea of what you're doing. So I went back to Lyon to do some more bistro, more casual dining. And I started from Bouchon Lyonnais to luxury brasserie to regain confidence in cooking. And then up to the day that I was like, well, what I really want to do is fine dining. So I went to work with Nicolas Lebec. The year that he had, we got 1 Michelin star on the first year, and on the middle of the second year we got the second Michelin star. So I worked for 1 year with Nicolas Lebec, and then France was just a bit becoming boring, and Nicolas Lebec was the only chef that I really wanted to work in Lyon. So then I said, okay, it's time for me to move. So I went to London, where I worked for a year with Gordon Ramsay. So 1 year in London, then that's when I met a girlfriend. She wanted to travel the world, and so we went to Australia, and I started to work with Balzac for a few months, and then just working for Balzac was just really decisive for me that I was ready to be my own head chef. So I looked for a French bistro, the Bistro Paris, worked there for 2 years, and then test the vin in Sydney. And then I came in Canberra, Sage, 2 years at Sage, 1 year and a half at Water's Edge, and then with Abel.
So when did you start Les Bistronomes?
5 months ago, so October.
That's
Last October.
Pretty right. So we talked about the history of this new joint, if I can use that word. And so, tell us about a couple of your signature dishes and what sort of clientele you have, and what is your aim over the next couple of years. What do you want to achieve here in Canada?
So signature dishes, I think what makes us kind of different of the others are dishes to share. We've got we started 5 months ago with the beef Wellington and the bouillabaisse. That was for sharing, to share for 2 people basically, between 2. And then now we've got the duck basically, so we've got the beef Wellington and the duck to share, and I think that's really what makes us different. Like it's really our clientele comes back for those dishes.
Yes. So they're obviously very traditionally French.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how many? You have big tables that come for events and stuff like that to use those, to share those dishes?
We don't, because there's sharing dish for 2. It's mostly table of 2. Like we don't do many big tables because of the size of the restaurant. Obviously, we tend to do much more a la carte and stuff. So because it's because it's to share in 2. Most of the time, it's people of 4 or people of 2 that just share it.
Yeah.
You know, but it's available for big table as well. Like if any big tables wants to
share. 7 or 8.
Exactly. The thing with them is those dishes are on pre-order. So that's.
Are you sure that you're gonna have
exactly because it's so much work and prep. Like for the Wellington, for example, it's 24 hours to get it from start to finish. We do everything from scratch, so obviously it takes time. And same for the duck. The duck is cooked for like 12 hours. So if we don't have the warning of who wants it and then it would be out of control. Like we couldn't control that. So that's really what's signature dish. And now with doing those dishes, I mean, obviously the a la carte is really interesting. Like we're famous for, like, either me or Abel in Canberra have got a good reputation in hospitality for the last 4 or 5 years we've been here. His wine and his service and my food is already quite renowned in Canberra. But what we really would like to specialize is this table right here. We're thinking of doing basically Guéridon style. So basically, we would turn this into a flambage section, where we will cut. It'll be a section in front of the whole restaurant, basically, where we can cut suckling pig for 2, or pork rack, or côte de bœuf, like a kilo côte de bœuf slice, or like in the old school, you know, crêpe Suzette flambée, steak au poivre. I used to do the crêpe Suzette at Testament, exactly.
So for instance, I remember vividly that, but you were probably not born yet. There was a restaurant in the 6th called Chez Joséphine. Monsieur Dumoulin. And Monsieur Dumoulin on Tuesday, the old father, was coming to your table and carved the leg of lamb.
Yes.
That's the same idea. Really.
Basically, that's the idea. That's where we realized that the show out of the table, you know, the old traditional French way to do the show at the table, first of all, is kind of gone forgotten in a way. You know what I mean? And that skills as well, because it takes a special skills to do the flambe, to do all those cutting at the table, the steak tartare seasoned at the table. No one does that these days. So basically, no one does that, but it doesn't mean that customers doesn't want it anymore.
Sure.
And this is what we realized by doing the beef Wellington. So the beef Wellington is cut at the table. The duck for two is presented at the table in his ash crust at the moment. So we bake the duck in an ash crust, basically, which is like all smoky and herbal and all that stuff, which really infuse through the duck, and it's like all braised inside. It's delicious. Oh my god, yes. Anyway, so we want to specialize into that. We want to bring back the old traditional show to the table by changing this table into a flaming section and decoupage.
Service table,
Yeah. Exactly. Service at the guéridon. Yeah. So we still have a la carte menu for people. We still do the lunch special, steak chips, salad for $17, which attracts a lot of people, you know, for lunches and stuff. But we really want to kind of separate ourselves from the rest by doing something unique, basically, that no one does anymore.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to take a little break, but after this little break, I would like to ask you about where you source your products and how you choose your wine. Is that all right?
That's fine. No
So, Clément, could you tell us more about where and how you source your produce? Because that's something very important to me.
Okay, so I produce mostly, as you can see on the outside of the restaurant, we've got garden at the front and we've got garden at home, basically. So Abel grows at home, I grow at home.
So that's all your vegetables
or 70%, I would say. 70% of our herbs and vegetables are homegrown, basically. So we spend all our weekend of time. I involve my kids into growing and farming. They come on the weekend and water the garden. My daughter tells, "What is that?" to the people because of the hose and stuff. Anyway,
so that's obviously organic by definition.
So it's organic and homegrown. You know what I mean? So it's not a perfect looking vegetables. It's just a very flavorsome fruits and vegetables. I mean, that's like, as I say, 60 to 70%. Obviously, we can't provide the whole thing as well.
To keep the same menu.
Exactly. Yeah.
So and what about your meat and your fish?
And meat, fish and stuff. So fish, we've got 3 different suppliers compared to the time that it is and where we get it from. I've got a supplier that does the fish market straight away for me in Sydney. I've got a supplier that gets himself straight from the suppliers around Australia, and then we've got a supplier here in Canberra for a quick fix. Then on the meat, we try to use as much as we can regional. We're using Bots Gum for all our pork and some of the beef. We're using New South Wales Ranger Valley for some of the beef as well. The snails are from Hunter Valley, fresh snails.
They take a long time to arrive here.
Yeah, they take a little while. But and then all the products we try as much as using regional. Licorice comes from Johnny, is organic licorice. All my crème fraîche, fresh curd and stuff is made in Canberra by a woman called Maureen. What else we've got that comes from here? So yeah, as much as we can, we try to source it around here. Yeah.
So let's talk about wine. So tell me, so is that primarily French? I haven't had a chance to look at your wine list yet.
Initially, what we did actually is with the wine list is I had to restrain myself budget-wise. So like I'm the wine trade for wine. So the thing is at the beginning, so trying to do like more of a new world and old world, so doing mostly like French wines and also like a lot of Australian, focusing on the regions where they produce the best varietals. But having said that, so we decided to change. I thought maybe more bistro, people wanted more an experience of with French wines and not actually too much of Australian wines. So I just wanted to push it to actually local. So we do have local winemakers I work with, such as Wimballery, very small boutique winery. There is also Chalkers Crossing, which is
by the way,
Céline Rousseau.
Yeah,
So
Céline
it's
Rousseau,
French.
I talked to her yesterday, and I said, "You want to come tonight?" And she said, "I can't because I'm doing the Vendôme."
That's it.
But say hello to Clément. And,
Yeah, so
that's it.
I met Céline because we did some wine judging actually together for New South Wales Wine Show. So I like her wine. So it's not only I like the person, but I like the wine as well. So we do have some of their wine. Big focus on Canberra district because I believe you need to.
So Lark Hill.
Yeah, Lark Hill not. I used to in the past. I might work with them in the future. It's just slowly, we build slowly the wine list. Otherwise, I focus on French wines. I try to pick like the best, some region with iconic wines as well. And I've got some contract with some of the suppliers to get just like a unique stuff actually. So we just get like a allocation where it's from a specific winemaker, such as
so directly from the wine.
That's right. So they do Michel Lafarge, which is a top winemaker in Volnay. So I've got some wines actually like this. So yeah, that changes quite often, but yeah, mostly we do French and local.
Okay, so in the French way, you do all regions, or you do Pinot Noir and Rhône, or how again? I have not looked.
For the French wines, it actually goes across the whole France pretty much. So we go to Languedoc-Roussillon, Bordeaux, of course, a bit of Burgundy, Alsace with Pinot Noir from Alsace. We've got a bit of the Loire Valley. So I don't have Chenin Blanc at the moment because they had some issues with their vintages, and then also they had some issues with the weather. They destroyed pretty much all of it. But yeah, so it goes across France pretty much. I couldn't say I've got like all the biggest Grand Cru. I can't say that as we are bistro. But we do lovely wine from across France actually. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, look, we're going to come back with some friends and taste your food, so we'll do also a restaurant review later on.
Sure.
But thank you very much for your time and having us just before service. I really appreciate that.
No problem.
And we'll put that on the website soon. Okay, probably during the weekend. Okay. Thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup.
Nice talking to you.
Thanks.
À bientôt.